like to speak on the bill.
You're recognized.
Members, I was not going to speak because the hour's late, and I don't really anticipate changing any votes, but after listening to half a dozen or more speakers, I felt compelled to stand up and give my perspective. First of all, I'd like to look around this room and see who are the true conservatives. I'm serious as I can be. When I got here in 1983, the fundamental principle of the conservatives, before I got here and until very recently, were those who advocated local control. Not much different than our attitude toward Washington. We really don't understand why Washington mandates so much to us as states. So the parallel is we're here, and now we're reaching down into our communities, our local governments, and telling them how to run their business. It's amazing to me that all of a sudden, in the last couple of sessions, that we've almost sound like the enemy of our mayors, county judges, and even our sheriffs. These are the people that I see you stand by regularly during a time of crisis. After Harvey, the partnership between the state of Texas and our local government was one to be proud of. But now all of a sudden, it's almost like them and us, like it's almost a visiting team and us. I can't imagine if you just could listen to yourself, badger the people that share our constituents. I really regret it. And these are the people I would suggest to you, having spent my adult life in elected office, these are the people that truly are closer to their communities than we are. So many of the county officials came before last session. We were there at 11 o'clock. Gonzales, Goliad, small communities, asking us to please don't take their ability away to go to their communities, our voters, and ask them for additional revenue. People, in my judgment, are not against government. They want government to work. And we're really stripping their responsibility away from them, like we know better than the mayor of any small town in the state of Texas. I'm really lost how we talk so terrible. And you know what's interesting? That have been in court, they're not losing their elections. It's crazy. If anybody operated the way you describe them, the proponents of this measure, they couldn't stand for re-election. They get replaced. They're there every day. We're here every other year for 140 days, and we're smarter than the mayors of Alvarado, Whitney, Texas, where I grew up, or our major metropolitan areas. Let me tell you something. I hate to be the Republicans' political consultant, but I'll do it for a moment because I think it's important to the state. The proof's going to be in about 2 to 3 years. You better hope that it doesn't affect your community like a cap does in the city of Houston. In a very small turnout in 2005, we put a 2.5 cap on revenue. Houston is booming. We can't hire police officers. The firefighters got parity, equal pay with police on the ballot. It passed last November because everyone loves their firefighter. We don't know how to pay it. Our streets are falling apart. We've done no real aftermath of the hurricane last fall. And our hands are tied. And in fact, We're in a desperate situation because of that cap. So I'm going to suggest to you a really good political position would to be allow the local officials to run their cities and rerun the state. I am terribly disappointed that it's gotten to the point where it's local officials against state legislators. And let me close. I was in Washington County this weekend. I have a place there. Went there yesterday. County judge spotted me in a huge crowd of people visiting his county. Terribly upset. Scared, concerned. I told him I understood. I go home yesterday, the mayor of Baytown called me. Folks, you are covering this state with a message to local government, city, county, and the sheriffs. Every one of us stand beside the sheriffs. You bring them down to my committee to talk about the need to change some criminal statutes. You're proud to stand with your sheriff, but where are you standing with him or her today? The sheriffs, and the bottom line is, I don't claim to be an expert on anything that we deal with. You know how I have a successful voting record? If I have one, I listen to the stakeholders. The sheriffs, the police chiefs tell me what they need from the state to set perimeters and to give them the criminal justice laws to make our communities safe, and then they deal with the local taxpayers to fund it. So all I'd say is, it's going to be interesting. I can't imagine, Paul, because the House set their bill for Wednesday. I think it'd be an interesting observation, which we will observe. The communication and the context is going to come between local governments, the stakeholders, and the Texas House. See, I grew up down here, married to a county judge's daughter from West Texas. I went to the county judges' conferences for the first 30 years of my career. Those are the best people on earth, the salt of the earth, county officials. Most of them do not come and go. Mayors, council, pretty significant turnover. Judge Dalby, bless his soul, was a long-standing 20-year-plus tenured county judge of Garza County, just outside Lubbock. But he's just one of many. So I could not sit here and listen to the badgering, and you may deny what you've been sounding like, but they know it. They're hearing it. And I promise you at the courthouse coffee shop tomorrow, and Pete, I worry about you. I can't imagine how you would ever cover and campaign in a district the size of yours if you cannot come into the courthouse square and find your local officials and sit down and say, how's it going? How was the session for you? What can I do to help you? Partner, I think you're going to get a real shock what you're going to hear from the local officials. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Dean. Chair recognizes Senator Fallon.